Gein, though. You know,
Ed Gein, one of the most successful serial killers of all time.
I mean, he's well known. There's a new Netflix thing about
Leatherface. Heard of him? That's Ed Gein.
I have. There's a new like Ed Gein. I don't know if it's a show or a movie, but it really follows him like doing his evil stuff. I don't watch that stuff. That's not my kind of horror. But I saw it being advertised on Netflix. I've been looking for good horror movies to watch. I've been watching a bunch for the spooky Halloween season, but they're few and far in between. I watch a lot of trash.
I don't know if there's a genre with a bigger miss to hit ratio than
it's the entry point for a lot of filmmakers.
Most horror is total trash.
So it has it's like stickers, huge profit margin. There's a long history of people making horror movies for a pittance.
How much are our stickers? Is it a meme or do we make money on stickers?
I have no idea. It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Internalized it uncritically when Kyle once told me we had the best margin on stickers.
Yeah. I mean, we have to, right? Like, what does a sticker cost? And
who knows? Maybe someone else has the profit margin.
Buy the stickers nonetheless. Somebody will make some money, and you'll get a sticky sticker. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the horror movies. Yeah, it's the entry point for a lot of people because it has that potential to do really well. It's rare that someone makes a movie for $10,000 about a couple that will they, won't they, and it makes $100 million. But it's happened several times with horror movies. Blair Witch is a great example. They made Blair Witch for thousands of dollars. So is Paranormal Activity. They made that for, it might have been $100,000 or $200,000, and then I think Spielberg or somebody. They make billions. It's so horror is often the entry point for fledgling actors, directors, producers, all that stuff. So you really get a mixed bag. There are some shitty horror movies.
What was that horror movie? I think it was by either Key or Peele, and he might have won an Oscar for it. God.
Well, there's Us. There's I know the one you're talking about. It's the one where he goes and visits his white girlfriend's family. It's
yes. Get out.
Yeah.
Did you think that was overrated?
Yes, of course. I think that most black movies that are good end up being overrated to their own detriment. It's like what's the thing? The prejudice of low expectations. I feel like that applies sometimes.
The soft
to
prejudice of low, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that applies sometimes. I really like Get Out. I think it's a good movie, and I think it tells a story that isn't my story, but a story that a lot of his viewers and black viewers can identify with, like, greatly. From the early on, a cop pulls him over, and to me, I'm like, all right, dude, you're fine. But I bet to black viewers, that was their first spook of the movie. Like, oh no, policeman, a white policeman. And then the fear of going to this white girl's parents' house, and he's like, "Did you tell him I'm black? Like, I'm not going to get there, and it's going to be a thing." And then him getting there, and the dad being like, "I voted for Obama." It's real awkward, and it is spooky, and it's well done. I just didn't think it was the GOAT. I didn't think it was the bee's knees or anything. It was just one of those good horror movies. Although his movies in general are all good. Every one of his movies are good movies. Better than most of the pack, and I like them a lot. Us is really good. Nope is really good.
And Get Out is the one where he's like maybe raises horses, or he's a horse stuntman? That's Nope.
Yeah,
Nope was slow, really slow, and then there were a few minutes at the end that were adequate. But
I think I liked it more than.
Are any of them actually scary? Like where you're unnerved, or are they more social commentary thriller?
I think Us is quite scary. Get Out is more of a psychological thing that again, I think it applies much more to black people than it does to us, because they're talking about themes that are black people themes. The idea of, you can put yourself in this guy's position. He's going to his white girlfriend's parents' house who don't know he's black. And he's like, well, wait a minute. You didn't tell him that? Like she's like, why would it matter? And he's like, it might fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like, because we're not going to Main Street 3 blocks away from home. We're going out into the wilderness country of like Maine or something. We've been miles on this desolate road going to these people's house. I get how that would be scary to them, but it's more psychological. Nope scared me a few times. Honestly, one of the like,
were they jump scares?
No. The at the very beginning, there's a chimp attack. That's a bit of a.
That is spooky.
The chimp rips a lot of people apart. and it's really scary. And there's no one there to help. There isn't like a team of big strong men to corral with like those lasso things.
Yeah. The only thing that can stop that is a good chimp.
They opt for the gun. That part was pretty unnerving, and then later on there's a fake scare where like there's some people in masks, and you don't know what the bad thing is yet or what the monster is yet. So when you see the mask, it really triggered something in me because I'm afraid of those round-headed, big-eyed extraterrestrials, like just the standard gray.
This is Get Out.
Yeah, this is Nope.
Nope.
Get Out is the one with the black guy and the white girl, and there's a whole there's a lot going on when you finally get there. They're stealing black bodies to put white minds into so that they can be sort of immortal living in these slick black
They're
bodies.
Really complimentary. Like these are the most athletic versions of humans, and therefore yeah, you're like the best ones. We all want to be you. But
yeah, it's a little sucking dick, like where it's like, yeah, we're the best. You need our body. Is that how
and then and us I actually
it would be like, oh, they must come after us for our mind.
I somehow read it felt like an insult to me in a twisted way. Like, oh, you guys are the most athletic. That's what you bring to the table. As if they couldn't bring something different to the table.
Well, they're looking for a mech suit to get into, right? They just want his physical body. His mind is literally not important at all. They're going to suppress all of his personality and his mind with hypnotherapy and take over his body, as it were.
Where does his mind go? What body do they put it in?
It's doesn't
still there, but suppressed, and you
see him falling into blackness, like into a black pit where he's being controlled. He's on board, but he's completely out of control, and someone else is going to take his body. Is the premise? And
I'm looking at the mask here. This isn't that scary, but I also haven't seen it in context. It pops up out of nowhere. I'm looking at the mask from Nope, like that spooky thing.
Oh,
so I was trying to get a gauge for it, and this is the kind of thing that like isn't spooky on Google Images, but I'm fully open to it being spooky.
The big antagonist in Nope is not something with a mask. It flies around. It's giant.
It's a monster. Yeah, it's a very interesting kind of monster that I've never seen before in a movie. I found it really
too big,
unique.
Jet black eyes and like two little nostrils. Is that it?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
In that scene, he was hearing something. There's already been like weird happenings, but he's hearing noises in his stables, and he's like searching the stables with a flashlight, and those heads just pop out of nowhere and look at him, and that spooked me pretty good. Us is good too. Us is more of a home invasion movie with a black family, and they're being invaded by like scary doppelgangers of themselves. Home invasion movies are scary because that's some shit that could happen.
What are they trying to do? Like I
don't want to spoil it. And they're up to some no good.
I will never see it.
Yeah, but there's a few people listening.
In Nope, the big bad monster, I don't think this is a huge spoiler. It suppresses technology. And that felt like a real reach sort of workaround to make the rest of the movie work. So to film it, they had to use this hand cranked thing. Mm-hmm. They couldn't film it like with any kind of remote cameras or like something that was automatic to like deal with it. Cars, motorcycles,
I liked
etc. That doesn't work because technology somehow doesn't work around it. And so now this isn't exactly it, but so now we're fist fighting this big thing, and I'm like, oh, it just seemed like, oh, isn't that convenient? It suppresses our technology, and therefore you have to do this particular thing, and all the normal solutions don't work.
Did they have an adequate explanation for why it shut down iPhone recording, but not like I guess analog or whatever that's called?
It gives off an electromagnetic field that fucks with anything electronic. So, and it's sort of part of the film was this family was, I think the first images captured on film or the first movie or something was a black man riding a horse. And it was this family's ancestor, and they still worked in the movie business with horses to this day as their gig. Mm-hmm. And so at the end, the two things that allow them to defeat the big monster are riding a horse to like get away from it, and using an old analog camera that there's no electronics. So you're just exposing film and reeling it, and so that I liked all that. I dug all that from the filmmaker's standpoint. like him sort of paying homage to that old stuff, all the stuff where they talked about the history of film. And I liked that character. I liked he's like a goofy sister who would like just wants to bleed the business dry, and a loyal son who wants to like carry on in his father's footsteps in a way. And then there's a fucking monster there gobbling up horses and people and stuff. And the monster's cool. I like that movie a lot.
Okay, you liked it more than me.
Yeah, I don't know how it did, but I dig it. I like all of his movies.
Of all the Jordan Peele ones you described, that little premise sounds the most interesting. The like, oh, we have to. This rich white guy has to steal a black body because they're so much better. Like that as a device doesn't entice me. It sounds it sounds almost like you're jacking yourself off.
Well, they are old people that are like renewing and living longer. They're not just dad pods looking.
Why wouldn't they re-up for all that white privilege?
Because it's 2020. That's a myth.
Wow.
No such thing as white privilege. Have you walked the streets?
Racist.
Please, I think it's white privilege. There's a cup. I can't say that.
Isn't that the worst? Where you're like, oh, this would be funny. Fuck. I can't say that.
That's all right.
Well, I'm closing this window of all these note masks. It is a little spooky.
Yeah, us has scary masks too. Us is a like I said, home invasion stuff is always scary. I don't know if you've ever seen The Strangers with Liv Tyler from Lord of the Rings, but
yeah, I've seen that. And it almost, I think the way the initial Strangers ends is similar to the way The Shining ends, where the guy shows up at the end to solve things, and then he gets like an axe in the back, literally in both movies. Literally an axe in the back in both movies.
A lot of people didn't like that. I don't think that happens to him in the book. And he's also the only black character and the only character who has some wherewithal. The only guy who knows what's going on from the very beginning. In The Shining.
The Strangers, it wasn't a black guy who got axed. It was I don't know the actor's name, but yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because it's a black family and the white guy's coming to say they just reversed it. But that every time that Nicholson kills that guy with the axe in The Shining, I'm like, fuck, because he just spent the entire like hour and 40 minutes or something, planes, trains, and automobiling, literally snowmobiling or snowcatting to like save the day, and then Nicholson just chops him right in the chest immediately.
Have you guys ever had a home invasion?
No.
No.
Into your home?
Knock on wood. No. Yeah.
Woody has.
But unlike those people,
3 times.
Wow. Unlike those people,
Zach has a crazy life.
We all have guns.
Yeah.
I've got my self-defense kitchen knife and my pepper spray.
The fiddlesticks. I forgot about that whole felon thing.
No, but yeah, I can't find any good horror movies. It's just the old bag. Nothing. I've watched a bunch of horror movies the last week, and I don't think I've seen anything that's worth repeating.
I'm gonna force my girlfriend to rewatch The Thing with me. Not that she's seen it. It'll be a rewatch for me, not for her. That is my favorite horror movie, bar none. It's the perfect blend of horror and thriller.
It's in my top 5 for sure of horror movies. It's one of my favorite movies, just period. Mm-hmm. I really, really like it. You should watch more of John Carpenter's stuff. He's the director. It was hated when it came out. It did poorly. He did movies like In the Mouth of, he did movies like In the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill again. That's more of a Lovecraftian movie about there's this author named Sutter Kane who's a Stephen King stand-in, and Liam and what's his name? I just said Sam Neill's character has been hired to like go find him because his book is due, and it gets into some weird interdimensional Lovecraftian stuff where he's writing these horror books and they're becoming real, and it gets very mind fucky, and Sam Neill's losing his mind, going crazy.
That's cool. I would watch that. I really like Sam Neill in pretty much everything he's in. He was in some show about like popes and cardinals years back, and that was pretty good.
They Live is really good. It's got.
I've seen They Live. I really liked They Live.